you, kiddo? You all right? All right, good. Good, very good. I put you in your favorite seat today. Yeah. Still photos only, though, for the GoPros today, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about, like, it being up your nose or whatever, the Associated Press. I don't think you can take them with you. I think they're glued to the table. Nope. Definitely not sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined now by Kennedy Meeks, Justin Jackson, Marcus Page, Joel Berry, and Bryce Johnson. They'll be with us for 30 minutes. Coach Williams will join us in just a moment. Then these guys will make their move to the breakout rooms, where they'll do 20 additional minutes of your questions and answers as well. But let's get things started in here for the benefit of all those capturing footage on the satellite feed. Please raise your hand if you have a question for any of the student athletes from North Carolina. We have one all the way up front to the right. Let's get things started.
Jeff Gravely, WRL TV. For you guys, what's more eye-popping to you? A team that wins by 44 in the Final Four, or is it the stat of shooting 71% in a game?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single one, and we're going to start down the end with Kennedy in the go-to position on the outside.
I mean, of course, it's good to see a team win by 44. I mean, it just shows their capability. But we're capable of doing those type of things. Yesterday, we was fighting for the most part of the game, and we finally pulled away. So it kind of shows our grit and toughness.
Justin.
I mean, I think anytime somebody beats a team by 44 points, that's kind of eye-opening. 71%. Is that what they shot yesterday?
Yes.
I mean, that's hard to do whenever you're shooting by yourself. So, I mean, that's eye-opening, both of them. So we got to be ready to play against a really good team.
Same question for Marcus.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty surprising. You don't see that very often in the Final Four game. Probably have never seen it in the Final Four game. But they've been playing that well basically the entire tournament. You know, their margin of wins in all their games have been pretty big, except for the Kansas game. And they're a team that can really shoot the ball, so it's something that they always have the capability of doing. But we're going to hopefully guard them a little bit better. You know, 71% wouldn't be good in our game on Monday night. So we just want to try to make it tough on them, but we know that they're a great offensive team.
Joel, same question?
That was pretty impressive, them winning by 44 points. I just think that even though they shot 71%, I think it just goes, I mean, looking at the score, I mean, they had a great defensive game, and that's what you have to look at, you know. Like I said, they shot 71%, but the defensive end, they were able to stop them, and especially, you know, one of the best players in the country. So, as you can see, you know, they take pride in that.
And a final thought from Bryce on that same topic.
Oh, yeah, just like Joel said, I mean, it's definitely impressive to see a team win by 44 in the Final Four, especially since they held one of the best players in the country to 9 points. That's a season low for him. He was averaging 25 points a game. So, I mean, that's really impressive just because, I mean, they're a very good defensive team, and they do play well together. So, I mean, we just got to go out there and play the way we know how to play, and we just know it's going to be a dogfight.
We're joined now by Coach Williams, so we'll take questions for Coach or any of the student athletes. The first one's going to be on the right side for Pete.
Roy, this is Pete Thamel from Sports Illustrated right here. The last couple days and throughout this tournament, when you've been up on the podium, you've kind of tried to dictate what questions are asked of you. You don't want to be asked about retirement. You don't want to be asked about the NCAA scandal. I'm just curious why, as a coach, you feel like you have the right to dictate what's asked of you.
Good question. I don't have a great answer. I guess just being a human being, that's all right. I mean, I've been asked 5 times since the ACC tournament at least if I was going to retire. So in today's time of social media, why in the dickens can't people get that information without feeling like they have to ask it themselves? For 2.5 years, I've been asked about the other stuff. I've answered it the same way every year. In today's times, why do I have to repeat the same thing? I don't think I at all have tried to dictate. Jimmy Boeheim dictated. He said, stop asking me that question, ask Roy. So I answered the question before anybody answered it. So I disagree with you. I don't think I dictated that. And then the question came up the first day about the NCAA stuff, and I answered the question then. So I did not dictate. And then I did say I would hope that we're at the Final Four. It's about 4 teams of young men that should have this moment for themselves. We would have enough fire to burn this whole building down if we built all the paper that has been written about that stuff in the last 2.5 years. You know, it's not that I have a Napoleon complex. I am 5'10", okay? So I always stand right in front of Joel at every team picture, so he has to stand on his tiptoes to be seen. So I guess that I would disagree with your question. And the other thing, so what if I have the right? You guys have the right to ask me again, but this is America. I have the right to say, no, ask somebody else. And that's what Jimmy Boeheim did. So first of all, I would say to your question, I don't have a great answer, but I disagree with your question because I haven't stopped talking anytime somebody's asked me.
Next question's on the right side
How'd
of the
I
aisle.
do, Pat? Mediocre, that's good. I like mediocre with you guys.
Dana on the right side.
Dana O'Neill with ESPN. Roy, you said at the ACC tournament final it had been a while since you had won anything when you won that title. How important then, and what will it mean to win a championship based on the history of this program and what the expectations always are?
Dana, there are some big expectations. Somebody asked, how does it go to make this the longest stretch ever between Final Fours? And I said, well, I know North Carolina's history better, okay, because I happened to make the Final Four in '91 at Kansas, and there's a guy named Dean Smith that was there at North Carolina, and he said, God, this has been a long time. It's been 9 years. So we haven't quite been 9 years yet. But winning the ACC tournament guaranteed that my guys got a ring. And that was important to me. There's a guy to my left a little bit down there, Marcus Page, said, guys, we've been here and we've never even won a ring. That statement was made in the preseason. That became a motivation for me. And then all of a sudden we get in the NCAA tournaments and, you have a chance to get to the Final Four. Getting to the Sweet 16 is nice, and getting to the Elite Eight is nice, really accomplishment for every school. But if you can take one more step, it's another huge accomplishment, and so I felt even better about that part of it. But I didn't have a thought process of how I was going to act after getting to the Final Four, and I really don't have a thought process of how I would act if we were to be the fortunate one to win on Monday night. But I think my guys up here are really focused on that, and they enjoy having a lot of fun. They're a bunch of wackos, and so I'm following their lead as we get this stage and see. And it's not even with Theo. It's even worse when you add Theo to these guys. But so Dana, for me, it would be a dream, a goal that we set at the start of the season, that we had a chance to be the best team. And now we're one of only 2 teams that still has a chance. So that's really important.
On the left side of the aisle, Ak. Joe, go back 2 rows, then to your left. Thank you.
Jim O'Connell, Associated Press. Roy, I know you hate to look ahead, but have you thought at all about what a 3rd championship would mean to you as a coach, that you join, the likes of, it's only Wooden, Krzyzewski, Rupp, Knight, and Calhoun, and that's pretty high territory.
Jimmy, I've never had that thought. I really haven't. But, I'm still the guy that says, truthfully, that I wanted to be like my high school coach. And one of the greatest thrills of my life is that I've had teams now that have taken me to 8 Final Fours. And I've taken my high school coach with me to 8 Final Fours. And I have thought a lot about that. But, that's company that is off the charts. But what I'd really, really love is for these guys up here sitting on with this dais with me to get their first one. That would mean a heck of a lot more to me than any of that other stuff.
All the way in the back, Mike.
Roy, Mike DeCourcy, Sporting News. I wondered if you could look back to maybe '91, your first Final Four, and give me one thing that you think you're better at coaching now than you were when you were a, quote, young coach.
Handling at least 2 of these guys up here without putting a contract out on them. and they know exactly which 2 I'm talking about, too. All of my they're far extremes. Say hello to Kennedy Meeks. Say hello to Bryce Johnson. You know, Michael, I've been through more games, more experience, and all that kind of thing. Every one of my former players say that I'm more mellow, and I think I've gotten more intelligent because I haven't tried to win every single battle. I've tried to win the big battle or the war or whatever you want. It's a terrible analogy the way our world is right now, but it's something that's been used in the past. I used to want to win every little thing, and now I see some things and they do some things that I can live with. I used to, I hate to say it like this, but I think I used to coach by fear, because I'd say, okay, if we're not going to do such and such, we'd get on the end line and I would try to bury them. I'd try to make sure that we had 3 or 4 guys throw up. And then I felt like that the next day I didn't have to threaten that anymore. And that lasted for a long time. But with these guys, you can ask them. I'll say, how many, do you think we need to shoot 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes? I did get them really good, though, on Friday. I had them shaking a little bit because I said, guys, I've told you that I'm worried about our conditioning because we just haven't had a chance to practice enough. And I said, everybody on the end line, we're going to run 5 33s. You have to run 4 of them. You can take your plus points and get out of. And I mean, Joel Berry's under his breath. Why are we doing this today? And then I yelled out over at Maggie. I said, Maggie, what day is this? And she said, this is April Fool's Day. And I said, I gotcha. Okay. Roy Williams never would have done that in 91. I would have really gotten them in 91.
Let's take the next question to the left of the aisle in the back, CL.
CL Brown, ESPN.com. Roy, I was wondering if you could just kind of take me through your philosophy and how you constructed the front court in terms of, skills. Like a lot of the teams you guys have played have had a 4 that's kind of been more of a perimeter guy.
Yeah. CL, you get a chance to. I've always loved to have 2 post players because maybe it's old school. It's definitely not necessarily the way Golden State plays, and nobody loves to watch Golden State more than I do. But I always felt like at the end of the game, you hope to have the other team in foul trouble, and if they were, then you wouldn't play against their best 5 players. Some of you guys, a few of you are in here when we used to have the Great 8, and Michael or Pat and you guys remember that. We played Cincinnati when I was at Canton. We could not handle Fortson. A lot of other people couldn't either. But all of a sudden, he's got 4 fouls, and we're killing him. And then he gets back in a game, and he gets his 5th foul. And so I've always been one of those that felt like if we could get some of the other team's best players out of the game, that we had a better chance to win. And yet I didn't want to recruit just big, ugly, old, big guys, smelly armpits and all that stuff. I wanted to find some pretty guys who could shoot the ball too, because I like that balance of it there. And so we feel like that we have basketball players, but we do want inside players and perimeter players. Kennedy and Bryce, I think they've got a great record this year. They've taken 0 threes. Is that right? 0 threes? This is Roy Jr. right here. I'm glad he did that today. I would have really been disappointed if he hadn't shown up today.
How y'all doing? Great day to be alive.
Great day to be a Tar Heel, big fella. Great. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. I have no idea what question I was answering. Just good balance, CL. And I think with Bryce and Kennedy, they haven't shot any threes, but the other guys do, and they try to do it inside.
We'll go to the right side for Bob.
Bob Ford, Philadelphia Inquirer. Pardon my voice, Roy. I'm fighting a little something.
Yes, I've had the same thing.
You said a few words the other day about the challenge of balancing, respecting the history and traditions of your program with not making it too much of a burden on whatever your present school is. Have you ever looked at what you guys have from the perspective of your potential opponents, because you obviously can't sneak up on nobody when you show up wearing them shirts. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, you may have a little bit of an intimidation factor sometimes, probably not at this stage. Yeah. But over the course of time, being North Carolina, is that a competitive advantage or disadvantage or no effect in a given year or given game?
No, it'd be interesting how everybody else in this room would answer that, but I think coaching and playing at North Carolina is a tremendous advantage. I really do. I mean, the history, traditions, You know, it's a nice school. It's a pretty color. I mean, all those kind of things. The only thing I think is that you always get everybody's best shot. You don't ever catch somebody on a bad night. And, you know, but I'd take all those advantages over that disadvantage, and I like that part. I like the fact that I'm pushing our guys to know every day we go out there that we're going to catch that other team's best. And as you say, it doesn't make any difference at this stage, because when you get here, the other teams are just as good, and you're going to get their best regardless.
Just to the right of the aisle.
Paula Bovin, Arizona Republic. Roy, I couldn't help but notice on Sunday you had talked about how important it was to get these guys to Houston. You even mentioned some regret, I think, about the '97 team, how it kind of haunted you. Are you able to put into words why that's so important, this experience?
Not easily, you know, but I had the greatest thrill off the court that you can ever have, to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. But I had that greatest void because I felt like that I had not gotten, I mean, you know, a lot of guys should have been able to get Paul Pierce, Ray LaFrentz, Jock Vaughn, Scott Pollard, and Jared Hess to Final Four, and I didn't do that. And, you know, I think that gives, sometimes coaches get too much credit and too much blame. Everybody knows that. But I felt that way and still feel that way. I still feel that way deeply. But, you know, so these guys took care of that, so I don't have to have those thoughts of myself about this team. It hasn't erased the way I feel about the '97 team, because that was, we had 8 seniors, 8 guys graduated. We lost 2 games. I mean, they were 2 academic All-Americans on the first team. You couldn't be any better. We lost 1 game when the balls were deflected back between the guy's leg, and the other guy picks it up and shoots it in. But that was a wonderful, wonderful team, and I felt like that. I felt like I let them down.
Toward the center, right here.
Roy, Zach Alfan from the Los Angeles Times. You were talking about inside-outside balance a moment ago. And this isn't to say you guys can't shoot the three-pointers, but it seems like you don't need to, and you almost tested that out yesterday. do you think you guys could win a game without making a three?
I hope the heck we don't ever try. You know, I like balance. I really do. I mean, we've had some games and some teams, and you guys have the stats easier than I can because you can do all the technology stuff. But in '09, we were one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, and we had the big rascal inside, Tyler Hansbrough, so we were hard to beat. But we had Danny Green, who set, I think, a NBA three-point record for a playoff series. We had Wayne Ellington, Ty Lawson, even Tyler Hansbrough could shoot threes. So it's not that I don't like them. I love, because that gives, again, the balance that I seek. Jimmy Gray asked me last night going out the second half as I was walking out the court, said, "You're winning the game with twos, are you still going to shoot any threes?" And I said, "Yes, we're going to make one." You know, and I think it was probably the biggest play of the game. They cut it to 7, and Marcus makes the 3. But I'd like for all 5 of these guys up here to score 20 points Monday night, and then 3 or 4 guys off the bench to score 15 apiece. You know, then I think our chances would be really good.
Front row on the left for the student athletes, correct?
Yes, Brett Friedlander, Wilmington Star News. Bryce, a lot of questions have been asked this week about Nate's relationship with Chris Jenkins. But what do you remember about when you and Chris played on the same youth team together back in South Carolina?
Man, that was a long time ago, so it's kind of hard to remember. But, I mean, me and Chris were probably 2 of the bigger kids at that age. I think we were about 8 or 9, and we were probably the only 2 kids dunking on the lowered rims, and not the regular rim, Marcus, the lower rim. And I mean, me and Chris were good buddies back then. I mean, I can't really say much about it because, I mean, it was so long ago. So, I mean, I do remember a little bit. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I talked to him all the time. I mean, he came down and stayed with Nate. I mean, I knew who Chris was. I mean, we hung out and acted like nothing has changed since we were younger. So, I mean, he's still like my brother. And, I mean, even though he was a little bit bigger than I was. So, I mean, he's still like my older brother.
At this time, we're going to thank Kennedy, Justin, Marcus, Joel, and Bryce for joining us. We're going to let them go get ready for their breakout interview sessions, which will occur between 3:20 and 3:40 down in the breakout rooms.
All right.
Well, I let you guys go. Good job, guys. I know. Next question for Coach Williams is on the left side, but right of the aisle.
This is Powell Latimer from the Greensboro News and Record. Roy, so many of the players on this stage and on your team have developed over the course of their time there and gone through stretches where they maybe didn't play as well. What's your philosophy as trying to guide players when they maybe aren't doing as well, and how have you done it with those guys?
You know, coaching is trying things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Kennedy went through a tough stretch, and I kept trying to give him confidence because I wanted him to be a better player. It's, knock on wood, so far it's worked, but every coach does that. And, you know, I'm a guy that likes to play 9 or 10 guys, so I have it maybe a little more than somebody else, but just trying to give them confidence and know that I'm going to keep giving them chances.
Second row on the left, Mike.
Roy Michael Presti, NCAA.com. When you won in 2009 for your second to match Dean, you said something along the line of Roy Williams and Dean Smith don't belong in the same sense. If you win tomorrow, you win 3. Do you still believe that, and if so, why?
I know he was a heck of a lot better. I really believe that. I'm not, you know, sometimes I try to be humble and all this kind of stuff that people think's nice, but I don't think that I'm in the same league with Coach Smith, and I never will.
Let's go to the left side of the aisle over here. I'm sorry, this is a curveball. Right there.
Art Chansky, WCHL Radio. Roy, having been in this game 4 times, none of your kids have, is there something that gives you an advantage? And if so, what is that?
You know, Art, I answered that one a little earlier today. If the other team had never been in any big games, and this was the biggest, and they'd never, you know, I think it could possibly be a little advantage, but that's not the case. And then the other thing is, this team is so much different than, for example, the 2009 team. 2009, we walked in the locker room and Bobby Frazier says, I don't want anybody messing around. You know what this felt like last year? And it was business. There wasn't any dancing around in the locker room. There wasn't any of that silly stuff we're doing now, but this is a completely different team. But so for me, I guess the way I'd answer that question is that we're playing a very good Villanova team for a coach who's been in the Final Four before. I think that I know a little bit more about what's going on, but I don't know that I can transfer that to the court, and they're the guys that make the difference. I really believe that. I don't know that I can give them something that Jay cannot give them.
To the back of the room, Pat.
Pat Forty from Yahoo Sports. Roy, you said you've mellowed as a coach, but you've seemed a little bit feisty at times throughout this season and even in the postseason. I'm wondering if that's a product of being old enough that you don't care that much what the reaction is, or what?
You know, Pat, I think 2 answers. One is I think I was just as feisty in the old days. You guys just didn't know it as much. I mean, you talked to Milton Newton, who's the general manager of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'm at Kansas. He said, you guys are talking about how nice and laid back Coach Williams is. Coach has got a mean streak too. So I think now it's just reported more as part of it. But the other part could be what you're saying is I think when I first got into coaching, I wouldn't necessarily, I don't think I'd ever run away from a fight. I had a guy sometime, are we going to watch you cry tonight? And I said, why don't you step up to my face and say that? All right, because I cried because it was me. And so I still think I would do that. But now I've decided that you can be that way and still be honest and sincere and decent to people. The gentleman that was sitting in front of you had asked that question about, you know, why do I have the right? You know, I think I answered that one because I think I was right, you know, that kind of thing. But it also could be that as you get older, you know, you guys are going to write what you want to write, regardless if old Roy's up here being nice or not, and what you think is the most important, that's what you're going to write. You have your own opinions, and you are able to express them. And, you know, for me to just stand up here and say, yeah, you're right, and yeah, you're right, and I don't feel like that I have to do that more. So possibly the simple way is that maybe I've just gotten older and don't feel like I need to try to please everybody. But the issues, and this is the last one, Pat, the issues that I think I've taken a stand on now have a great deal to do with Roy Williams personally too. And that's when somebody questions my integrity and things like that, that really bothers me.
On the front, to the right.
Ken.
Roy, Ken Davis, today'su.com. When you keep getting back to this level, do you feel that you learn something about coaching at the Final Four each time? And can you go back to 81 and 82 when you're on Coach Smith's staff? What did you take from him at that point about the Final Four experience?
You know, you got to be able to change. 81, we stayed out on the other side of Villanova, and we didn't even know the Final Four was going on, and we lost. And then we go back in 82. I may have said this the other day. There's been a few press conferences. I apologize if I'm being redundant. In 82, Coach Smith says, well, where do you guys want to stay? You know, Georgetown's staying in Biloxi, and you want to stay in, you know, Australia or where you want to stay kind of thing. And I said, Coach, why don't we stay downtown New Orleans? I said, last year we stayed outside. And I don't even know if the guys knew that it was going on. And guys, I'm telling you, the highest your heart rate has ever been is what my heart rate was at that time, because I was suggesting something to Coach Smith. I didn't know if it was a very smart thing to do. And he said, you know, he said, let's try that. So in the last 30 seconds, I've told you one of only 3 things I ever gave Coach Smith in 10 years. But I think that each and every year you do see the surroundings. I mean, one of our guys, well, the big rascal was sitting right here, said, what are they going to ask me tomorrow that they haven't already asked? Why do we have to do that? I said, you want me to go call another player from the ACC and get him to come take your place? You know, so I think that I understand. And I did mention one specific player, but if I told you, I'd have to kill you. So
We're going to try to get 2 more in. Malcolm?
Malcolm Moran from the Sports Capital Journalism Program in Indianapolis. Roy, when you made your observations last night about the state of the journalism industry and the relative lack of attendance at practice to understand the process, do you have any thoughts on how things have gotten to that point as opposed to what the relationship might have been years ago?
You know, Malcolm, I'm not sure, so please stop me. I don't mind being stopped if I'm not understanding your statement. I think what I said to one of the questions was one of the things that bothers me nowadays is that so many people are media that can put things out that had no journalism background. I mean, Malcolm, Pat, Ken, Mike, I mean, most of you guys, you went to school in journalism, and they were principals, and now people put things out that could be perceived as media that really is not, that doesn't understand any of that. It's the more outlandish thing. So I think that's been harmful, but I'm not sure that I'm understanding exactly. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Okay. You know, and I think it's harmful for you guys. I mean, I can't tell you how many people that have said, you know, Malcolm Moran, I know who you used to write for. I got no idea what the crap you're doing now. Okay? Pat, Louisville, I mean, Ken, you know, the current, I mean, nowadays there's people that say so-and-so.com, you know, hyperspace, you know, Google data, Yahoo. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And so, to me, that is a big change. And I think if I were you, I would feel really proud of what you're doing and really worry about what else is being done. You know, because it is. I mean, guys, I think I've been fairly easy to deal with today. I think I've been fairly easy to do. And the first questions, the guy said I dictated what questions to. I wasn't. Boeheim dictated to you guys. So it is a different atmosphere, and it's something that in somewhat makes me, number one, very much more cautious, but in the other stand, like Pat said, very much willing to make a stand too.
Coach, we added 2 minutes, so we have time for the lightning round. Are you ready?
Okay, I got you. Yes.
Shannon?
I'll go easy on you, Coach. How are you? Shannon Spake, ESPN. I know you've mentioned your former coach several times and how you've brought him with you to the Final Fours. I'm wondering, he's a mentor of yours, so how have you leaned on him? How have you personally leaned on him during the tournament runs and most recently this one?
You know, Shannon, there was no father in my family. There was no male figure, so he was the guy. He's the one that got me to go to college. I never even thought about going to college. I was the first of my generation to ever go to college. He thought I should do that. He wanted me to go to North Carolina. He wanted me to try to be on the freshman team so I'd get more exposure to Coach Smith. I talked to him more than any human in the world other than my wife. He's here. He was coming over to practice today. and he had his wife and daughter with him. They were going to NASA, and I said, go to NASA, go to see the Space Museum, you know. But I leaned on that man when Coach Dean Smith asked me to come back for $2,700, and Wanda didn't have a job. I went to his house, and he said, how much would you and Wanda make this year? And I said, if we stay, we'll make $30,000. And he said, I think you ought to do it. I did it because I trusted him. And now the easy part is I also had Dean Smith that I could trust too. But that man, I would be the luckiest guy in the world if I could have any kids that felt like me, like I do my coach.
In the center of the room, Zach, and this will probably wrap things up.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Roy, early in the press conference, you talked about, all the stuff that's been written the last 2.5 years. What impact do you think that stuff has had on this year's team? Do you think it's fueled them? And what kind of impact has it had on you? Has it motivated you on the court and with this team?
I don't think it's really had an effect on them because, they were so far removed from it. But you guys, Pat said it and the other guy said it too. I apologize for not knowing the gentleman's name that asked me that question. Pete, everybody says that I'm a little more cantankerous or whatever you want to do it, but I'm tired of it. I'd say that's the thing with me. But again, I think that the Final Four should be about those guys. There's a time and place for the other stuff, and it's been a long time. I'll say that. But for me, the biggest thing is it's helped me appreciate what I'm doing, and it's helped me find a haven. It's helped me find a place where they believed and trusted what I said and didn't question everything that was ever written. So it's been a nice time for me. It really has. And I'm one of the fortunate ones. I'm doing exactly what I want to do, and a lot of people don't get to do that.
We'd like to thank Coach Williams
Thank
for
you,
joining
guys.
us today. We'll see you tomorrow night, Coach. Good luck.